Hey Zach, this is Tom. So I'm going to show you something you can use to help figure out some of these things. Some of the tools I use. So that one example that you said, never mind, because you figured it out. I'm going to go through the steps I would use. So one, I pull up the customer, and I look here and I see that the default keys are on the FedEx side, which means that's the shipping account. Because there's an account here, edit account, or the under FedEx billing, this will be bill third party to this number. This is how it would be configured. Now I'm going to show you how that looks on a shipment, but then I'm going to also show you older shipments because the question was what happened, or Brooklyn asked. And looking back, it looks like this was all England at one point, but then that has changed. But what I do is I look at the transaction log. So I've added this to your system where under logs you'll have transaction log here. What that does is bring up the stuff we send to FedEx and back and forth. So in this case, I mean, I'm just going to bring up a random one to walk you through it. So what we have at the top, you'll see this big old number, but it says request. This is what we submit to FedEx when we book the label, and the response. I think there's one email going back and forth with Brooklyn and John. Well, the response back saying the third-party account is bad. That's because that's what FedEx is giving us back if we open it up, which means on that specific customer, which isn't this one, this account number, maybe it is this one, I don't know, is not good. Because when you try to book on it, this account number throws an error in FedEx. And so the issue is FedEx is saying that account's bad, so we can't do anything. But the way you can kind of see in the transaction log is how we do it is, so here's the request, this is what we submit to them. And you'll see that here's the credentials, there's their key, password, then we have the account number and the meter number. So this information would be what you would see on the ship tab. Let's go back a step. This is customer this. I'm going to pull up that customer so we can be on the same page. So once it loads, so this customer is on this account that's 42081. So if I go to the transaction log, you'll see that there's the 4281 and all the other credentials that are in provider accounts. So when we log in to FedEx, like here's my information and everything. Now this customer, you'll see that says FedEx billing is blank or it's not populated. So there's nothing set. So if I go down the transaction log, there is a section in shipping charges here. Payment type, it says recipient. And here's their account number. It's the same account number. Is it the same one? It is a different one. 7. Oh, it's bill receiver. And not sender. So they went into this, in this example, this person went into WebShip and actually said bill receiver and plugged in an account number. So this is what the two pieces I'm looking for. So in the case where this is populated, where it says FedEx billing, you would see in here it's a third party, and it would have that account number that's being on the third party. So in that first example, or the example in the email that you told me not to worry about, what I did is I went to the invoice, I found one of the air bills that had shipped. This had shipped on the 10th. So I went to the transaction log, I went to the 10th, I did the tracking number. Oh, let's do February 10th. That might be better. There we go. So in this case, with this air bill, because I'm figuring out the billing issue, so I'm seeing what account it was used, so I can look and see how the customer is configured. So that's this one. So on the default keys, so by the transaction log, you'll see there's the 1220, which I believe is your account. And then if we scroll down here, There we got bill third party and bill the 1116. So I go to the customer record. I have a third party or FedEx billing set, the 1116. So this is how they're configured, and this is how that shipment was created, and what we sent to how we send it to FedEx. There's times if you see an error message, you will see it. If I just refresh this, we'll see today's data. And if there's a failure, it would show up here. But it's not showing them all. Should be a scroll to go down. So there's a problem here. I'm not seeing the older ones. So like the one that John's troubleshooting with Brooklyn. So this is a great tool to just kind of eyeball, and you can look at older ones. Now this log is only for about 30 days because it's a lot of information, and we'd run out of hard drive space if we kept it for years. So we do about 30 days worth of storage on this, so you can go back a little bit to figure out what was shipped to build. So that's when, when I'm researching these things, I'm finding the customer, I'm seeing how they're configured, and then I'm going to the transaction log and then seeing what was booked. And there's been times where, things have changed, like this was blank, so everything was on the default keys. But now it's different. So when questions come up, why is this doing this? It's like, well, back in the time, this is how it was being booked. Just looking at the transaction log, I can see if I have what the account number is I'm booking on, and if third-party billing is set by putting a thing there. So hopefully that helps. Sad thing is we don't have that for the pickups, which is the other issue we're working on right now. But that, that one's still going on. But hopefully this tool will help you, because this is what I use when I'm doing a lot of research and trying to figure stuff out. So I don't see why you can't look at the information yourself and determine it. Actually, let's see if I can search by failure. So here's a bunch of failures from today. And like if I open up the response, we got an error, you can see. Phone number is required. You got to put a phone number. So that came from FedEx. So that one's easy to resolve. And another one. Yeah, here's probably the one that Brooklyn is working with John. Recipient third-party account number validation failed. So in here, we're booking on this account number. But if we scroll down to that billing section, you'll see it says bill third party, and here's the account number to use. And that's the problem is that account number is apparently bad with FedEx. And there's nothing we can do about it because we just submit the number, and they're coming back with the error message. So hopefully this is useful. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye.